Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of my favourite people and some of the country's biggest stars. And we've got one for you today. A man we've been talking to for over 20 years on this show, from Strictly to Weekend on ITV and his brand new #1 album, One Voice. Ala Jones is the man at the top at the moment. It's great to talk to you again. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Really, really well. I keep pinching myself with the success of the album, but I'm so happy.
I don't think you need to pinch yourself at all, because what you do is so clever. You do credible work, you reach a mass audience, you don't do too much of it, and what you do is good. And I think the public can smell fakers, and you're certainly not one. That's why you've been around so long.
The album, it's been a funny one, really, because, again, making history in a way, because it's the same person but with two different voices, me singing with my boy voice. And there was no guarantee we'd know that it would be a success or that it would actually work, But the first moment we started recording, we knew we were onto something quite special, because I don't know, myself and the producer both kind of felt it, and if we feel it, then it's a good sign. So it's been a really, really lovely project to do, and I can't find a negative at all, to be honest with you. It's been such a brilliant thing.
Let's talk about how many albums you've done, because you've been doing these for 400 years. What number is this?
This is album number 31, apparently, someone told me. But that's with compilations and stuff like that as well. But yeah, I should be about 100 years old, shouldn't I?
Well, you do realise that's extraordinary, and to have that kind of longevity is incredible and almost unheard of.
Yeah, I've been very, very lucky. With a kid, it was only 4 years really, the career as a child, but we managed to cram a hell of a lot into that time, around school as well. And then, I had a couple of years where I didn't really do anything. I went off to college, and it's just, gradually over time, I suppose, I've just got busier and busier and busier. And now, as you said in your introduction, I'm lucky to have my weekend show, which is starting back in a couple of weeks on ITV, which I love doing. And also then, the tour and the singing as well. So, both together is a lovely mix, really.
Pronunciations aren't my forte. We've talked about this before. Oh, Wally Wally, that's one of my favourites. How are we meant to say that?
Whaley Whaley.
Oh, Whaley Whaley. And we've got Defifid Y Garegeg Wen. How do we say that one?
David the Garreg Wen. Yeah, that's another one of my real favourites. Everyone in Wales knows that because of, it's very, very famous in Wales, but it's also a beautiful tune. On the album, I suppose the ones that have worked really well are the ones that are a total kind of duet as well. Eris Gay Love, which is such a beautiful piece of music. That was the one within sort of 10 seconds of recording that one that we knew that, there were sort of goose pimply moments to be had on the album, which was lovely.
You are blessed, and all joking aside, let's just say my favourite numbers are 5, 9 and 12. That'll save us trying to do any more pronunciations. You have got an incredible voice. Do you wake up in a morning paranoid that you'll sound like you? Because there's a great pressure. There's no faking what you do, is there?
No, but I think the voice I have as an adult is definitely not as special as it was when I was a kid. I think the boy voice was just so sparkly. So, and with this sort of album, I've been able to kind of focus on that, because, to be honest with you, there are so many albums as I did as a kid that I haven't even listened to ever. I just kind of recorded them and moved on. Whereas with this one, I've listened and I've almost like my grandpa, looking back and saying, "Gosh, yeah, the little boy was quite good." But I've been very lucky to have a second stab at it as an adult, and I love my singing. It's probably the thing I love doing more than any other, although followed very closely by the TV and the radio. But there's something still special about the moment when I'm on stage and in that darkness, kind of giving from my soul. I suppose that's what I love doing.
Well, you're just a big show-off, really, aren't you? And when we look at what you
exactly that.
When we look at what you do on Songs of Praise, I so admire how you handle those Royal Albert Hall shows and things like that. I'm always amazed how tricky it is to do live anything, whether that's radio or TV, and you look totally at ease. Are you the swan that's panicking sort of under the surface?
Not so much now. I suppose when I first started, I was, but I feel totally confident on stage, and I don't really mind when things go wrong. And I think that comes from just doing years and years of sort of live work as well. That even in a situation, if auto cue went down or whatever, I know that I can get myself out of it. I know that I can kind of, that's my domain, if you like. But yeah, you're always apprehensive. I'm definitely, when I'm singing, I'm always nervous before I go on stage singing. But with the presentation stuff, no, I just kind of enjoy it now more than anything.
As we sit here at this moment, you are number one on iTunes and Amazon, which means you've beaten the likes of Justin Bieber. How does that feel? And what does it mean to you to know that your fans have put you in that position after all these years?
I'm really, really thankful, and utterly amazed. I keep going to sort of the charts and seeing if I'm still there, whether it's just been a dream, and the fact that I'm back at number 87 or something. But to be where I am, really, it's just been a real dream come true, even after all these years. This is probably my best-selling album since I was a kid. So phenomenal, really. It's dream come true.
Your career trajectory is interesting. I mean, we did an hour special in some grubby hotel somewhere when you did Strictly. I don't know what year that was. Can you remember?
It was, years and years ago, because it was series number 2, so I'm not quite sure.
Right.
Yeah,
probably above 10 years, I would think.
Yeah.
And it seems like since then, you have been sort of a daily staple of TV. When we look at the shows you do on BBC Two, when we look at even the new show you're doing about TV, and then you fill in on the One show, and of course the radio shows, Classic FM, Radio 2 before that. You've really got a niche that is so unique and almost unexpected, because for the choir boy to end up as one of the biggest and most popular, talented presenters on British TV is extraordinary.
Again, it's something I kind of pinch myself. I love doing the programs I do now because they're all different. And, I suppose they say that, variety is a spice of life. And I really feel that, because they're so different, it gives, every time I approach one of them, it gives me a sort of an added energy, if you like, because I'm not stale doing the same thing day in, day out. So, when weekend has been off, I've been doing the BBC Two show, which is now finished, so weekend starts again. So you know what I'm saying? When one ends, the other begins, and so it gives me a sort of a fresh impetus, if you like, to do my best. And I love doing them. I'm very, very lucky, because I realise that there are millions of people that could do what I do, but I'm lucky to have the opportunities.
I saw you just a couple of weeks ago with Sarah Cox. Was that show a success? Did you enjoy it? How did it go? Because it sort of came and then went again.
Well, it was only meant to be for 5 weeks, so and it was live for 5 weeks, so I loved doing it. It was a show that really kind of grew on me, to be honest with you. And I think by the last couple of weeks that we were doing it, we had it completely right in the beginning. It's hard to get things right in the beginning, especially a brand new show. But all talk is that it's going to come back later this year. So, I think they saw it as a success. It wasn't to everyone's taste, but it was a light program about television with a bit of fun.
Well, so, again, it is brilliant putting you next to Sarah Cox, the original ladette. And you handled her beautifully. I mean, do you get nervous when you're working with people like that they're a bit of a smart ass, or do you love the challenge?
No, do you know what? Sarah and Emma, I was really lucky to work with both of them. They're really down to earth. There's no side to them. And, I suppose the fact is that they've been in the industry about many, many, many years as well. They're just lovely people, and I think we worked really well together, because we both enjoy life. We both try and have a laugh. And Sarah's a great broadcaster, so I wasn't worried about the ladette side.
No. But then we go and look back at the last time we spoke, which was just before you were launching Daybreak with Lorraine, who's one of my favourite people. I thought you two had a really great chemistry. Was it disappointing to you that you're still not doing it, or was it hard work? Because getting up at that time has got to make you want to be suicidal.
Oh, no, I was only meant to do it for 2 years, so that was always the plan. And for me to come away from Daybreak and have my own show on a Saturday and a Sunday is, that's exactly what I wanted to do. But for those 2 years, I loved working with Lorraine. She's a great person. We're good mates anyway. We were friends before we did the job, and we're even greater friends now. But no, I would really not want to be doing it now, to be honest with you. I didn't enjoy it towards the end at all, because the early mornings and it just gets to you. You just get you're tired all the time. You're grumpy by the end of the week, and I'm a lot more suited to sort of the entertainment world really than hard current affairs. And and whilst it lasted, I learned a hell of a lot. Daily live TV all through the week. You do learn a hell of a lot, but no, I'm more than happy doing what I'm doing now. It
is a proper job. I mean, I did warm up for Loose Women for 2 years, and it is a proper job when you turn up every day. But doing it at that time of day, I don't know how you survived. I couldn't do it.
Well, as I say, I 2 years was enough. Put it that way.
Yeah. So we look at your new album and the tour, the Cathedral tour's on the way on the back of this album. I mean, having a number one album going into a tour cannot hurt at all. And for you to be in Cathedrals, that spirituality just goes perfectly with what you do. The Songs of Praise crowd are going to love it. And you're doing stuff that matters, really important songs.
Well, they're the songs that I love, and there's no getting away from the fact that that's what I'm best at doing. So, if it's singing a hymn or whatever, it seems to resonate with me, and thankfully with an audience as well. And yeah, I've sung in cathedrals all my life, but this tour is going to be a real kind of exciting prospect, because a lot of the theatres I sing in, they all look and sound exactly the same, whereas with these cathedrals they're all completely different. Yep. Different acoustic, different things, different outlook. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the tour, and singing in places like Ely and Liverpool Cathedral. Yeah, it's amazing.
You can find out more. Just put in Aled Jones Tour into Google and it will come up. It's really great pleasure talking to you again. I have so much respect for you.
Thanks for all the support as well.
No, I mean it. I think it's so extraordinary to have a long career in show business anyway, but to do what you do is utterly remarkable, and to still be as popular as you are and number one in the charts is truly exceptional. Aled Jones' brand new album is out now. You can get it via Amazon and also iTunes, where it's currently number one, and the Cathedral Tour kicks off later in the year. You can find out more by going to Aled Jones' website. Great to talk to you, Aled.
Andy, thanks so much.